we go. It could be the last time this car runs. Are you willing to sign the waiver?
Of course.
As it goes underneath the knife to get a, what would that be equivalent to?
A Godzilla swap?
They never want to leak from the top, always from the bottom. Leaky water pump. It's gonna be fun.
It's not like there's anything in the way, right?
No, like actually this bracket's isolated, which is good. Because even for the power steering pump, it's not there anymore, so we don't need to worry about any of those bolts. So get this off, radiator hoses, and should be able to do it actually quicker than a stock one.
Are we doing this in 1 hour or less?
I'm gonna say 2.
My hands are cold.
Cool down. No, you gotta work while it's hot, because that means that the bolts are more likely to come out and not, you know, snap off in places you don't want them to.
And it makes you work that much faster because you're...
So here we are, guys. Welcome back to the infamous project. We got the Blue Brother car in here with its owner, Mr. Cotter Factory, in the background. And a couple weeks ago, he rolled up. What were you doing? You were changing something.
No, I went out to Circuit of the Americas and we had the Double R Fest.
Right.
And so I did a couple of pulls down in Mexico.
Because Mexico's just across the street here in Texas, so it's easy to do some pulls. And we were...
Parked it. When I parked it, it kind of had a little stream underneath it coming out.
All right, so it was bleeding green. And notice, of course, the water pump. So very common thing on these cars. I feel like any of them that I've come across over the past 2 years, if the water pump hadn't been changed, or the gasket more specifically, in that amount of time, they leak. So ultimately we got to change that. We'll be putting a new gasket on the front side and one in between the backing plate as well, getting that all swapped up, and then hopefully this thing can keep its cool. So there we go, guys. Gonna rip this thing apart and hopefully it goes smooth. We can do it in 2 hours. That's what I would like to see. So let's get at it.
Start the clock. So on these, you just loosen the alternator, drop it down, that's your tensioner?
Yeah, that should be. And then that should allow you to get the belt off. Then you can pull this guy out. I need to find a pan that's actually gonna be...
I was wondering, didn't you have to like change the oil last time you did one because of the oil pan? Like, when you remove it, won't it drain down in the oil, or was that a different project?
With the timing cover, it will, not the water pump.
I was worried. I was like, Dave, I just put new oil in this motherfucker.
Good observation.
She was low.
Cool, looks good.
I think this bracket has to come off, huh?
Let's see here. Yeah, pull that one off. Just remember where that went. Pull this one off. Steamy.
In Texas?
It's actually cold out today.
This is not Canada cold.
No.
This car's used to the cold.
Yeah. Good for boost.
Chris moves here and brings the cold weather with him.
Now.
You've been here how long, Chris?
A year.
Yeah.
I came as a snowbird. A snowbird that never left.
That's how they all get here. I guess you can just leave that one on, huh? Just keep it loose.
Yeah, as long as it's out of your way, you're good. Uh-oh. What was that?
I didn't see where it came from.
There's a washer stuck to that bracket.
All right, so while Charles is pulling some of those bolts out, we're letting the radiator drain out. Let's talk about these gaskets real quick. So when you're doing your water pump, you need 2 gaskets. This is the one that goes behind the backing plate of the pump, and then this is the one that mates up against your timing cover. So the important thing about this one, if you guys get the Fel-Pro gasket kits, you're going to end up with 3 of these gaskets. Make sure you use the right one that follows the contour of the timing cover, because if you do not, you're going to have a horrible leak and you're going to hate yourself because you're going to have to pull everything back apart. Another important element that you need, Permatex, the right stuff. Use this, skim coat all these surfaces before you bolt everything back together, and you're going to avoid having leaks in the future. You'll thank me later. Oh yeah, oh, little spacers, I see. Yeah, I actually really like this setup, because there's one bolt that typically when you're doing the to get the AC bracket off, or the power steering bracket, hot potato. So that normal accessory bracket there's one big long bolt, and it likes to get itself seized and caught in there.
So you got this one, that one, and that one.
Yeah. The nice thing is you don't even need to take the thermostat out, so you can take these hoses off as well. Oh, might be 16 or 5/8. Which one was it?
16.
There you go.
Oh man, that wasn't even tight.
Well, the torque spec's only like 15 foot-pounds, which isn't much. So you got that long one over there. Oh, you gotta take the lower radiator hose off.
I'm just waiting to see how long it would take until he sees I brought him electric ratchet.
Did you?
Oh really?
Oh, you did too.
Damn, that could have saved me tons of time.
It's right there.
Not everybody has those.
Oh, so we're trying to show people what it's like, huh?
Yeah. This is
They can have
DIY. Yeah, those ones like to seize themselves on there.
Not this one.
Yeah, as long as I think it's probably loose, so once you get the pump off,
It'll come.
hopefully.
There's one.
One. Here.
Top.
There's one inspector bolts. You're going to want to clean the threads off well before you put everything back.
2.
2.
Boy, that's a
It's a hot one. Hot tamale.
American Idol.
There you go. Ooh, it is warm. All right. Will it come?
Feel
Is
like
it just those hoses holding it? Must be if you're that far off. So, 2 options. You can... Maybe you can't. Can you see the head of that clamp? Or is it buried?
it's buried.
Did they do anything clever, like from the underside or
It's
anything?
right through there. It's on the other side
Okay.
of the thermostat.
Um,
Probably easier just to pop it off right there.
you can take this one off, because that's that one that's all bound up behind the alternator. Unless you can loosen that off, then you can rotate the alternator up. Do that. There you go. Hopefully. Sort of, kinda.
I can see that one now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because this might actually be the quicker way of doing it when we put it back together. So we'll take these off and clean everything up, but here, I'll hold that.
I don't know that screwdriver.
Oh, that'll work actually. Will it clear everything? Oh, it does.
Woo! Look at that.
There we go. Look at that, Ricky. See that in the diesel world?
Oh yeah, all the time. Every block's like that.
So we'll get all this gasket off, clean all this up. We'll get our pump ready for its new gasket. Be good to go. Dual action. All right, guys, so we got all our surfaces cleaned up, prepped up. You can see here, been trying to soak up the coolant out of this water jacket just to make sure that we don't get any leaking when we put our gasket maker on there. So just want to make sure that you get any residual coolant soaked up. So let those sit in there a little bit longer. Clean up the threads of the bolts.
Should we shine this up?
Yeah, you can shine that up. No stop leak. Got a leak, fucking fix it.
I've seen a new diesel.
Like, I understand if your car sucks. Well, not sucks. Like, if your car is just like old, high miles, whatever, throw.
Junker, you plan on getting a new one. You're just trying to get by.
But like, come on, fully built motor. Throw a stop leak in there.
Are you calling somebody out right now?
Somebody. Don't know who you are, but.
It's funny you knew which one to go around the outside on.
Wait. Try and mimic all the pressure points. Up.
Chris is just in his natural habitat.
Go. This better be the right one. This car definitely could use as much power as we could throw at it. Not that it's not healthy.
So there's the two other gaskets right here is where this is different.
Mm-hmm.
So how that's open here, well, it's closed here, but the other ones are open here and looking for a plate down there, and then they leak.
So do we need to trim it or something?
No, you can leak.
And then the rest of them are all the same.
Oh, that diesel's gonna give up soon. It's white smoking.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, give me which one? That goes where? Down here?
No, that's this one.
Here?
Yeah.
These bolts have a reputation, you know.
Those are all the ones we cleaned up. Unless someone put one in their pocket by chance.
And you or Chris?
Charles took all that out.
Did he drop one?
And I think at one point somebody handed it to somebody. Or I was handing bolts to people.
You were? Oh, let's see that. Can you reach in there with that on? Probably not, right?
Yeah. Nope. Can't.
Yeah, you can get that one. And that one with an extension. go.
Is that what size you have? Is it 13?
No, he's on a 16 right now.
Chris, you think we have any takers on buying this motor?
I don't know if you're throwing it out there. It is
saying.
a beautiful motor.
I think if someone were to make an offer for it, give us a reason to drop in the Godzilla. What do you think the viewers want?
I don't know, some are going to say keep it OG because this is a pretty sweet setup. Might be a clone, but at least it looks the part.
That's a good point.
You could also just pull the blower off and put twin turbos on the snail boys. You can't go wrong with turbos.
That's good. I can tell by the torqueness of your arm, your vein throbbing.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I want to check the other ones real quick.
Yeah. That one should be good. Thank you.
The pain with this one is that the hose clamp usually gets bound up on the housing. There you go. We'll take that one up a little bit so we can actually get it. Okay. Bastard voltmeter.
Got it. Are there? Oh, that's just like rain, I think. A little dirt.
Maybe. They look like scratches.
Yeah.
Standing right here.
Should we give them a little teaser? Oh, look at that diff cover. Perfect launch.
Your lovely racing pedals. They were wet. You remember how the clutch was when you first got the car. So, you know, I'm trying to just feather it because it was at either on or off, and my foot just slipped right off it, and the car caught, and it was going straight for the front end of my truck. And I just took my right foot and actually both of them, and I just went for the brake and the clutch together, and it caught the brake and snuffed the car out.
Damn.
I thought I told you.
Probably did, but I think I forgot.
All right. All right, what's the time?
What do we got? 1:16.
And we are 11:30.
Yeah.
There you go. As long as we start up and get the radiator cap back on before 1:30, success. Radiator cap is back on. We're less than 2 hours, no leaks. How do you feel? And you polished some shit up.
We did, yeah.
Make it look all clean. So there you have it, guys. Another successful water pump change. Got the car started. There's no leaks, no funny business. Checked the belts, checked anything that we might have touched. Made sure that the petcock was nice and tight on the radiator. Topped the rat up with some distilled water. Don't use tap or well water or anything like that, because it can lead to buildup in your cooling system, much like whoever had used the stop leak in there to attempt to probably fix that small leak in the water pump. And did it work for a little bit? Yes, but ultimately it failed. And I'm just glad that we got to it now, because the cooling system did look pretty clean. So there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on the Infamous Project. There we go.
Yeah, it's just solid smooth off.
That's nuts. And there's no threads. Look, they just like had it pushed in there. So poor Charles's car.
Yeah, what are we dealing with here?
Your vacuum. Car kept dying randomly, and you were idling here, and the car died, shut off, and then misfiring. Started back up, tons of black smoke. You could tell it was just pouring fuel in there. So we started going through these fittings, which the one that Rick left with was the one that was going into this guy. By the way, there was no thread tape in any of these. Everything was loose, including the one going up for the boost gauge up in there. So now we're in a position where we're trying to make something work so we can actually drive the car. So I'm going to move this fitting that was here, hopefully back over here. I think they're the same size. They are. We'll put thread tape on everything, and then Rick's going to plug the other one that goes here. This vac line is just going, I don't even know what it's going to be honest with you. We're going to have to find another home for it. So whether we get a T fitting, might rob the one. There's a vac line here for emissions.
Looks like it's going to the blow off over here.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, since this is cracked, we're going to plug this one that was going to emissions, and amazingly enough, this car still has the EGR and everything on it. And the fitting that this one was going to, we'll put this one on, and then we'll just cap this one off since it's broke. So we need a little screw or something to cap that. Hopefully be able to drive and get to where we need to be.
Are we going to cancel the appointment, or we're still going to try to make it?
I don't know how. See if he sent you the info. And then need more leverage in there. Oh, there. Aha. Oh, success.
Ooh, look at that.
Just gonna be tight squeeze.
You almost need like a 90.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you really only need one going to here, and then the rest can actually run off this. Like, I don't even know. Just going to what? Charcoal canister stuff? Like, it doesn't, like, there's a lot of stuff we can delete. Let's put it that way. It's on. Oh, this one's on. That's on, and then we need the important one.
What's the thing underneath it?
Under which? Sorry.
Under date.
The build number.
Yeah.
21. 21. Let's see here.
We're gonna lose my favorite boost gauge.
temporarily. It's true.
Plastic. Junk. Airline fitting. Big rigs.
Ah.
It's a lot tighter than what it was. Trying to fire her up. I just grabbed a big hammer and beat that down in there.
Give it a misfiring. Oh yeah, we're good. Whew, there you have it, guys. It's all I can do is laugh, right? I don't want to criticize other people's work. You know, sometimes people want to put stuff together. They get excited when they get new pieces like vacuum trees and such, but you know, you don't put proper sealant on there, then yeah, those things are going to start leaking on you and ultimately cause issues. Happy we managed to flip some stuff around. Definitely going to be taking that vacuum tree setup off and getting a proper vacuum setup on the car, so that way Charles won't have to worry. So there you go, lesson learned how important your vacuum system is. So we'll get that fixed up properly later. Right now we got to go look at a BMW.